Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in this video we're going to be quickly breaking down the Hercules fight. I'm going to be showing you guys a couple of solos that I did either on stream or straight afterwards, and then basically the best options for each of the special objectives. So this Hercules fight right here, now we first and foremost have to deal with brute force and recharge, which obviously brute force is actually the most annoying node here in general. Then we have recharge, which makes regular means of gaining power non-existent, and which also creates a problem if Hercules kind of bundles up and he gets to level 3. And the AI in this fight can be absolutely horrible. He can be very cooperative for 10 special attacks in a row, and then all of a sudden he just refuses to throw anything. Now there's also force of will, and thank goodness there's foresight node that is the main mechanic how you can improve your damage output. Then besides that, he is 95% immune to nullify effects, so most of nullify abilities will not really work. Shake and bake basically means that you're going to be getting passive concussions, eventually reducing your ability accuracy by up to 100%. You can get rid of them by knocking Hercules down, which is actually something that you do not necessarily want to do too often, because then obviously he's going to spend the rest of the fight being completely stun immune, and that is one of the things that kind of creates additional level of difficulty there. And then finally we have from zero to hero, a node that lets him go indestructible and unblockable for 5 seconds every 15 seconds, and these buffs are paused if you're far away from him. It's definitely just there to kind of, let him be unblockable, thus, disable your ability to parry, for instance, in those instances, and also damage mitigation, which just makes this long fight even longer. Now, few of the best options and the very easiest options I will definitely say is Tigra. Tigra is by far the easiest, quickest, and most straightforward way how to deal with this fight. Absolute joke of a fight, really. I did it very first time around, trying for the first time this fight on the stream, and then quickly before recording this video I just did another solo where you just do the Tiger thing. You spam your heavy attacks, punish his level 1s or heavies with your own heavies, get those raptures going, and you also kind of have to be fairly brave throwing your heavy attacks, because he does like to hold that block because of that recovery node, and it's always quite safe to launch those heavy attacks from distance. He pretty much never punished them. Sometimes I do wait a bit in the distance right here, as we're going to see, so I'm going to go for a level 2 here. Now unfortunately my fury expired kind of midway through, otherwise this fight would have been done even quicker. Here I'm going to go for another heavy attack, bait out his level 1, and I will make a small mistake in this fight, which is going to be use my second level 2 whilst he will be indestructible, thus obviously kind of losing all of that damage, but I'm going to finish that fight out fairly quickly immediately afterwards. So I'm dropping my level 2 here, and he takes no damage here because he's indestructible, but nonetheless he's already at like 33% health. We are reducing his HP very quickly because we keep knocking him down very frequently. We basically never have any concussions active on us. Here we can see that he's already at like 9%. He uses his level 1, sweet. I hold my heavy there for a bit. We can see that my sense is almost expired, but just enough to finish this fight out in like under 2 minutes, like 1 minute and 40. So very quick win there. And another amazing option that I found was Hitmonkey. This is also my very first attempt, hence you can see a couple of mistakes in this fight. But the base idea is any champion that actually has just a ton of damage on his basic attacks doesn't really require much of ability accuracy, and any champion like that can work. So Aegon's actually very good for this fight as well, because you can just keep on intercepting, and even though you do have all of those concussions active, they don't stop you from gaining combo, and with that also you just deal more and more damage thanks to that foresight. So any champion that has good amount of crit rate and great amount of base damage without needing much ability accuracy is going to do very well in this fight. Here we can see that within first 30 hits I actually got like his 30% HP down there. Now he does kind of go a bit iffy in this fight, and it's gonna be slightly longer than I would have liked it to be, but overall definitely Hitmonkey is very solid option here for that offensive raw damage, and Tiger was a great option for female milestones, obviously. So here we can see that Hitmonkey is definitely putting in his work as long as you get the passive 200% fury. If I had Liquid Courage Double Edge, I would have been doing even more damage. Now, unfortunately, I think I'm going to screw up my level 2 here in a second. I do need to bait out this level 1 from him. That's not a problem. And I get tagged by end of that level 1. That's a bit embarrassing. I'm actually going to make one more mistake later on in this fight. But the most important thing is I actually haven't knocked him down a single time. I have those 5 concussions on me, and I just don't care about it. Now, here is going to be the problem that he goes indestructible. Still, he only has like 35% health, and I just need to keep on doing whatever I have been doing. Just, you know, do your 3-4 hit dash back intercepts, keep him in the corner, bait out the level 1s, dash in, and just keep on smacking in his face. Not a problem. Now, I'm trying to get in that fury here, but it doesn't kind of work up until now. Finally, I get that, so I get back my 11k medium crits and 7k light crits. And that Hercules is getting absolutely nuked down by Hitmonkey. Now, here I nearly got caught. Luckily, I was quick enough to escape that. And I still have the fury here. Still, my fury is here. Towards the very end, I was thinking that, you know, I'm gonna get wrecked in a second. But luckily, I didn't. Right, so here he's already in his indestructibility, so I get hit. And because of this, I thought I'm actually going to lose, because I obviously got the brute force on me as well, so I dropped my level 2, even though he's obviously indestructible, just to recover a bit of adrenaline healing and stop the brute force from killing me. And at this point, that's it, he's down. So this was my first attempt with Hitmonkey as well. Very, very easy fight without a doubt. Another champion, I hope I left the recording here. This is actually a rank 1 Invisible Woman, and now I'm not gonna get quite a full solo in here, and I also only did 1 try in this fight, I think, or maybe 2. Did I do 2? No, I think I did 1 try. And Invisible Woman is actually very, very good for this fight, because of concussion, it also affects her unpausing the invisibility. So you can, and while she's invisible, she has like significantly increased crit rate. And then somewhere in between everything, you can get some fragile stacked up on Hercules. And with my very first try, using rank 1 6-star Invisible Woman, I got him down, I think, about to 30% or 35%. So I didn't have quite enough time to redo this fight, but Invisible Woman definitely is going to be very, very good here. Basically, initially, you just need to enter your invisibility. So for that, you do want to get rid of your concussions. And then, because invisibility is not going to trigger with all of those concussions active, so you do want to get them off in order to be able to enter the invisibility. But once you have entered in your invisibility mode, you're going to start getting these fragile debuffs, and then if you want to keep your invisibility mode basically forever, you can just get 5 concussions on you, and then even if you get hit, it's not going to get unpaused. And now, thanks to the Foresight, 200% Fury, and your super increased crit rate, and whatever extra damage you might be getting if you don't have the concussions, it's not like the biggest deal. Sometimes you are going to do extra damage, sometimes you won't. But we can see that you're definitely going to have quite an easy time there. So you can knock him down to build more fragilities, obviously, and manage your concussions, or you can just ignore about them and just play with the base. Like here, my invisibility definitely would have been unpaused, I think. But I have like 9 fragilities here. Awesome. Also, that shield that she has can cover some of the brute force damage, which is quite awesome. Here we can see that, you know, she's doing a decent amount of damage here. And yeah, we sometimes manage to get in some more fragilities there. And Hercules, obviously, she's kind of like a ramp-up champion. So I will mess up somewhere towards the end. But we're going to see that 6-star rank 1 Invisible Woman definitely is doing quite well here. He's like already at half health. So even if you do have to use like a single revive for this, it's not too bad. Here at this point, I do need to get rid of those concussions if I want to be doing my secondary damage. That's fine, not a big problem. But thanks to that Foresight Fury, you know, I'm doing significantly more, you know, because I do have a lot of crits. If I was running Liquid Courage Double Edge, I probably would have pretty much finished the fight out at this point, because then all that Liquid Courage Double Edge attack bonus on top of her high crit rate and the Foresight Fury definitely would have enabled me, you know, to do significantly more damage. But even without it, it just turns out that Invisible Woman is definitely a very solid option because she can absorb some of the brute force damage. She has super high crit rate, and it's fairly easy to deal with this. So I will screw it up somewhere here in a second. Well, he's on like 43%. So it wasn't too bad for the first try. Right. Let's jump down here. So what are the best champions for this thing in general? So you can do 2 objectives at the same time. You cannot do 3 objectives because psychic shielding, you know, is fairly limited champion pool. You can get Captain Britain for female objective and psychic shielding objective. Other than that, it's pretty much female and offensive raw damage. The Thronebreaker objectives that you can do in one go, and psychic shielding needs to be done separately. So the best champions overall for this thing, in my opinion, would be like Elsa Bloodstone, Guillotine 2099, in She-Hulk, and Invisible Woman, because both of those 4 champions can get 2 of your objectives done in a single fight. So even if you have to use a revive or 2, for instance, for Thronebreaker players, it's well worth it because you only have to do 1 fight. So the best female champions, in my opinion, overall for this fight would probably be like Tigra and Claire, possibly Kitty as well. Haven't tried it out myself, but Tigra obviously absolutely shreds this fight. Now, offensive raw damage champions, the champion that I used on stream was Kingpin. Screwed up the first fight quite early on, soloed him with the second fight. Hitmonkey soloed him with the very first try as well. I do think Hercules is a very solid option alongside Aegon and Shang-Chi as offensive raw damage champions. And then when it comes to psychic shielding, there really aren't many great options. So the best ones, in my opinion, would be Strife, Captain Britain, Professor X, and Magneto House of X. Because there are very few champions in this game tagged as psychic shielding. As we can see that we have Captain Britain, Juggernaut, who obviously sucks, both Magnetos, Mr. Sinister, again, you know, not the hardest hitting champ. Then we have Professor X and Strife, and Unstoppable Colossus. So overall, I think probably Strife is the best. I was struggling a bit getting used to Strife. I actually haven't done that solo yet. I'm sure they will in no time. Just need to take a bit of rest. And yeah, I do think that the champions that are listed here are probably your best options from psychic shielding. So that's pretty much it for this. I hope that this guide is useful to you. Let me know how this went for you. And as a last side note, super glad that they actually improved the rewards this time around, making the event, you know, significantly more rewarding. Right, all that being said, hope you guys enjoy the video, and I will catch you guys soon. See ya. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the